What's good with y'all fellas? Today I'm gonna break down a Pluggnb beat, you know, something that doesn't have a piano in it for once, so I mean it kinda does, but we'll get into that. You know, I'm gonna break this beat down. Here's a preview. Alright, now I'm gonna get to breaking down the sample. Alright, so boom, here's a sample. As you can see just by looking at it straight away, I used one VST on this, pretty much what any Pluggnb producer uses, just straight purity, you know what I'm saying? So go get purity if you don't have it for these. I highly recommend it. You don't have to use purity, you can find these sounds kind of like scattered around everywhere, but purity has everything you need for Pluggnb, so you can find everything in one place. Okay, so yeah, the BPM 152, that's kind of like in that range sort of. I think 130 to 150 is usually good. Maybe 152 is a little fast, but that sounds cool. So you just how you finesse your drums later, so we can get into that later. So we're gonna break these down one by one. So the first sound I have is Purity, the Pretty Pad preset. So a lot of these in the piano section are Rhodes. Honestly, any of them work. Pretty Pad is my favorite because it has a swelling effect like a pad basically, but with the attack of a Rhodes piano. So here's the MIDI for it, you know, just F minor, classic. You want kind of dense chords, you know, it's Pluggnb, so it's got that R&B kind of feel. So you want like a little denser chords, you want like a chill kind of vibe. And it's pretty much just chords because I added quite a few melodies after this, but just a few chords, a few filler notes right here. And the bass note stays almost the same throughout, so here's what that sounds like. Alright, so yeah, pretty much just that. Velocities, randomized, Alt-R, strummed, Alt-S, mentioned all that before. So, okay, so for effects in this Rhodes, I have Soothe 2. I mentioned that in a previous tutorial. Basically remove some harsh resonances from your mix. And sometimes with the Rhodes, like, it's very concentrated in the low-mid kind of area. Yeah, like right around there. So you're gonna want to ease it off. And yeah, pretty much just that. Alright, so the next sound I have is this lead. It is the grassy lead from Purity, and literally any of these leads are like really fire for any of these Pluggnb beats. You can probably finesse any of these into a Pluggnb kind of beat. So here's what this lead sounds like. Okay, so there's that legato effect when you like have the notes sliding into each other. You gotta abuse that for sure. I mean, yeah, the lead is pretty like scant and like spread out. It's super simple. Got like these gaps in here. Otherwise, it gets a little intense in terms of the just like the frequencies. So then for effects on this lead, I have an EQ, just like cutting out the highs a little bit. A little like sharp kind of high frequency. And then another Soothe, pretty much copied and pasted from the Rhodes, so yeah. Then boom, next sound is a bell. So yeah, bells are super common in plug beats in general, Pluggnb. So this is the bell I used. A lot of these bells are really fire. Vibrahand bell, the glockenspiel, you know, any of those really work. But yeah, here's what that sounds like. Yeah, copied and pasted over here. Super simple, 3 notes, 2 notes. Just a little counter to the main sort of chords, basically. So then the effects, just an EQ, just sort of again shaving off some of the highs. The highs can be intense on these, so yeah, just shaving off those highs, and then yeah, usual reverb EQ, which I have on almost everything, so I don't really even talk about that. But yeah, then the next sound is sort of pad sort of sound. It's called a tech silk choir. So here's what that sounds like. And yeah, pretty much is that, like a sort of phase-ish type of pad synth core, like whatever you want to call it. It just follows the bass notes really. So yeah, for effects on that, just an EQ again. Like these Pluggnb beats don't go crazy with like gross speed or nothing. Like the effects are pretty normal. You just want to have like good patterns really. The main roads is what matters the most, and then you can build everything kind of falls into place after that. So next I have here is a Pluck from the guitars and Pluck section here in Purity. Clean mute. It's like a guitar, basically, like a Pluck guitar. And these aren't super usual in Pluggnb beats, I guess. They're just kind of fucking around a little bit, and I thought it sounded cool, like more R&B than Plug, but here's what that sounds like. Yeah, and it's just an accent. It just kind of accents the first sort of downbeat on the melody, really. Just a little more there. So you could probably hear I got like quite a heavy amount of delay on it. These are the settings I used. And then just a little bit of EQ boosting the highs right there. So finally, I have like the sort of main lead, I guess, for this, which is the simple square. So yeah, the sine lead, the simple sine, the simple square are like probably the most safe bets to use for like leads in these. So here's what that sounds like. Okay, so I mean, again, like you could have like a simple pattern just playing across, but like since it's so kind of R&B inspired, I like to have it unique and sort of varying. So that's basically why I got this, and I wanted to play in this 2 to 3 area, 4 to 5 area, because I didn't want to clash it with the mute notes basically for the most part. That's why it's playing here. Yeah, and again, I abuse that sort of legato effect just for like the smooth sound of it. And yeah, the effects are delay right there. It's pretty minor, but yeah, a little bit of delay, cutting the highs. So you can hear that clicking sound a little bit. Just get rid of that, and it's all good. So, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much the sample. So now we can get into the drums. All right, so boom, get into these drums. So all these drums come from a pack I just got on Reddit. So the first pack I tried to download tried to give me a virus. I was like, all right, maybe skip that one, you know. So I went and downloaded a pack off Reddit, and yeah, Reddit's goated obviously for these drum kits, especially like specific like genre-based drum kits. So when you have like a very sort of niche kind of genre, you're gonna want to get the specific drum kit, and this is definitely one of them. Pluggnb, Plug in general. You just gotta have like the right sort of sounds, otherwise it doesn't really fit into that niche. So yeah, this is the kit I got right here. Just Google it on Reddit or something, and you'll probably find it. Yeah, anyway, here we go. This is the clap right here. Yeah, basic ass clap, you know. Clap's nothing special, standard stuff. The hats. Yeah, the hat sounds nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've got these sort of velocities going up and down just to make it smoother. Just like give it that sort of R&B type feel, you know? A lot of the times in Pluggnb beats, I should mention just for like posterity, I didn't do it in this beat a lot of the time since its BPM's kind of high, but a lot of the time you'll just straight up hit this, and this will be the Pluggnb beat. Like, they'll do that a lot in Nina by Autumn or like a bunch of other Pluggnb songs. They'll use this pattern right here, especially when the BPM's a little lower. But yeah, I opted to skip that. And some other beats I did it, but yeah, I just should mention that. Yeah, anyway, I also did slap pancake on it, just to have it going left to right, just for the effect. So yeah, the next sound is the rim, just a basic perk that you would have, just bouncing. yeah, so pretty simple. Another perk right here. Plays right after the downbeat and right here. So yeah, just that effect. Then I've got like this Beethoven sort of chant that you hear in a lot of plug beats too. So yeah, effectively, I created my own sort of delay without adding the actual delay plugin right here, just by simulating the velocities. And yeah, if you want to like sort of create like a delay effect, this is the kind of velocity changes I would use, where it's not like linear down, goes down like gradually. It goes down quick initially and then a little slower as you keep going. So yeah, that's what I did there, and I just wanted on the downbeat, just give it that impact. You know, in a lot of other beats I'd use like an open hat or a crash. I mean, a crash would have been good too. I just want to try something different. The chant is pretty overused in these beats anyway, so I want to try that. And then, you know, finally, say 808. So. Yeah, super basic pattern. Yeah, Pluggnb beats, they don't go crazy on the rolls or any of that shit. You just keep it like straight, simple, short, Z808, and that's all you gotta do.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, that's pretty much the beat, really. Like, for arrangement, I mean, nothing crazy. You just make sure you space out the melodies. You don't want the lead playing all the time as well. So, yeah, just space it out, really, and that's pretty much it. Pluggnb beats aren't too complicated. Once you get the chords down, you're probably set. Everything else kind of falls into place. Chords are the hardest part, obviously, because it's like R&B type of chords and stuff, but you're probably good otherwise. You know, you can make it a minor, you can make it a major, you can do any of that, whatever you want, you feel me? But yeah, that's the beat. So yeah, fuck with loop side, you know, same shit I say every week, every time I make one of these. So yeah, check us out. Come check this kit out. It's for my purple loop kit. I've got 10 Pluggnb loops just like this, stems, midis, all that stuff. Yeah, peace.